It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And it's been a week. Guys, I'm so sorry that I didn't do any lives last week. I had an insane week. I had family in town. My pops had 5 strokes. It's just literally been like this. So thank you guys all for reaching out, and thank you for sending all of your love to Pops. I really appreciate you guys. And I just wanted to start off by saying how thankful I am for this community. And don't get me all emotional and shit on here, but I really am super appreciative, and thank you guys. I really can't even express how much it means to everyone. And also thank you to Muriel, because Muriel sent Pops a beautiful bouquet of flowers, and that was so sweet of her. So just, yes, I can't just be thankful enough. With that, guys, I want you to go ahead and smash that like button. We're here to talk about the 90-Day Fiancé tell-all. And this was, I said the S word when I started, but this was kind of a shit show, just to be fair. I'm going to drop the link for anyone who wants to call in. When you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome to start. And I will get started on this. Hold on 1 second. Let me just drop that. All right, so we start off this 90-Day Fiancé tell-all with all of the couples coming in except one obvious absent party, which was Stephanie and Ryan. However, the rest of the couples were coming in, and it seemed like they were gearing up and ready for battle, kind of. Brandon and Julia surprised me the most because Julia came in hot. She's like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready, and she starts speaking in Russian, which I didn't even know if you were from the Ukraine, you could understand Russian. And maybe that's an ignorance on me. I just didn't even know that. I said something to Jason about it, and he's like, excuse me. But it was just over my head. Julia, who was it? Julia, Natalie, and Yara. They were all speaking to each other about Rebecca. So I'm just getting in about when they first got there. Rebecca came in, and she apparently has bashed Natalie before on Instagram. I would love to know what she said because I didn't necessarily catch that, but that's what she said. Hold on, I want to bring people up. Yes, Kempire, go ahead and call in. Well wishes to Pops. I feel like, especially right now, I can't even listen to myself talk. I feel like I'm just like, ah! A little bit. But anyways, getting back to it. So Mike and Natalie arrive individually because they're still having their ups and downs. Now, what we've heard is that Natalie has moved to Seattle and that they're no longer together. But what we didn't know is in this episode, we were going to find out that Mike may or may not have allegedly cheated. If he cheated, obviously this is going to be a problem because 1, this woman is not going to put up with it. And 2, you can't cheat on your new spouse, especially after he left her not even at the altar, unless his house was going to be the altar. He left her the day of. I'm going to bring up Kempire because I can't carry this by myself today. I'm just in different spirits. But guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, and here's Kempire. Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you, and we all missed you last week, but 90 Day was trash last week.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. And I still tried to do my pre-recorded videos, but as far as lives, I was like, even going through my pre-records, I'm like a roller coaster. So
I can imagine. But you're still putting out content, and we appreciate you. Yeah.
Hey, thanks. And I appreciate you for jumping on when I was like, Kempire, help me carry this.
You know what I was trying to do? I was like, let me put something on decent before I come on.
No, I appreciate you. So obviously you watched the 90-Day Fiancé tell-all. Which couple should we start in on first?
Should we start in on the boring couples? Brandon and Julia, they were okay. I like their interaction with everyone else, but they really didn't have a lot.
Yeah, but she's kind of the aggressor as far as the conversations and stuff, and she's the one who speaks her mind, which I think that's because, and I don't mean this with any disrespect, because she's Russian, so she's just very straightforward. Just like a lot of Eastern European women who they tell you, like, well, for example, when she's like, why do you need liposuction? Just go to gym club. Like, well, that's not for everybody. But
I mean, she's not the only person that says stuff like that. So I was like, okay, but I did like them there, but it was just sort of like they kind of, well, at least Brandon, he sort of just fell in with the rest of the background. She was the most outspoken one. But what was going on with their storyline? Their storyline started to get very boring towards the end. It was like, all right, bye.
Well, and it made a lot of people question because Julia kind of painted herself like a little bit of a victim this season. And I think that it's fair to say
Julia.
Oh, Julia. Sorry about that. Julia painted herself like a little bit of a victim, but then also, just to be fair, from how either editing worked out or whatever the case was, it seemed like she walked into a situation where she didn't fully understand or know. Nobody told her the truth of what she was walking into. That's what we got. But then all of a sudden it starts coming out in this episode. He offered her an apartment. Yeah. She acted like she didn't even know that she was going to be moving with the parents. But if you're rejecting the apartment, where the hell else did you think you were going to live?
I have no idea. But I had that feeling with her. She just wants what she wants, and she tries to manipulate Brandon into giving it to her, and he usually falls for it.
Well, that's fair. But do you agree? Would you say that you would agree with the rest of the cast members who say, honestly, if I were you, I would have taken the maybe lower quality apartment as opposed to living with my parents because it makes you strive for more?
Exactly. I would have taken the apartment. That way we could be free and not under. First of all, she doesn't like the animals. That alone would have been my motivation to get out of there.
Well, the crickets in the kitchen alone would have been my motivation to get out of there. But I mean, you know, the parents even came out and they said, listen, like, we're not holding them here. We're just trying to help them get on their feet. If they want to go, they can go. This is just a way to financially like set them up. And Julia, she actually pointed out the fact that the rules have gotten even more worse. The mom has gotten more strict since they've been married, and that her relationship with them isn't the best at this point. I think if any time is a good time, now would probably be the good time that you're married to probably go take the shit apartment and work your way up.
Yeah, I don't understand why she wouldn't do that. Honestly, that would have been my motivation just to get out of there. Even if it wasn't the greatest of apartments. And I'm sure the apartment's not that bad. It's not like a New York City shoebox apartment.
I had one of those and it was terrible.
See? So I can't imagine where they are. It's going to be that bad.
Yeah. Well, then again, who knows how much she's really stressing this out as like a really bad apartment because, well, then again, Brandon's used to. No, you're fine.
Look. See, I'm a loyal supporter. You see this?
Hey, we like that.
Multiple platforms. Sorry, y'all.
We like that. No.
Turn that off.
J Rose said blaming editing is. I think that means cow shit. I'm not quite sure. Okay. I want to say really quick about this though. Yara came into the apartment that Jovi got, and it was nice. The kitchen was nice. It was smaller, but it was a nice apartment. I thought the way that it looked was it's probably nicer than most apartments that I've ever lived in. So,
and I'm sure it wasn't cheap either.
And I'm sure it wasn't cheap exactly for the place, the location that it's in. I'm sure it's an expensive little apartment, but for Brandon and Julia, I'm going to keep saying that. I feel like
Julia. We know what you're talking about.
Julia. I feel like maybe with Brandon living on a farm for a long time and kind of accustomed to a certain way of life, maybe he wouldn't have delivered as nice of an apartment as Jovi. Is that fair to say or no?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
It's all speculation.
Yeah, this is true. I just don't understand. I mean, both of them really had these images of what they wanted and expected these guys to give it to them. I feel like Jovi probably was the only one that really gave it to Yara in regards to, okay, I got you an apartment. And I mean, in other ways, Jovi could have been a lot better, but at least the materialistic things that she wanted and needed, he seemed to provide for her, unlike Brandon. I mean, even though Brandon tried in regards to the apartment, but I don't know about the other things.
Well, speaking of Yara and Jovi real quick, because there's not much to talk about with Brandon and Julia, aside from the fact that she's a little bit of an instigator, but
which we need.
Yeah. Speaking of Yara and Jovi, you know, I kind of found it interesting because from my experience, a lot of these reality television personalities, even if it's 90 Day Fiance, you know, you get to see yourself on the episode before it plays out. But there were certain scenes that Yara kept saying that she hadn't seen before, like the strip club scene. And she's sitting there crying. They're obviously authentic tears, but do you think that she opted out of watching the show, or do you?
I think maybe they didn't watch it chapter and verse. I think they watched what they could watch. But remember, this tell-all was filmed several weeks ago. So maybe it wasn't up to that point. So maybe she didn't she wasn't fully caught up. We make a business out of this, so we make sure we watch everything. But I don't see her necessarily watching everything, because I wondered when that aired, I was like, I wonder if she saw this. She definitely didn't see Bears All, because we saw that with everyone else. But I felt bad for her in that moment, because that's embarrassment at the same time.
No, and I've actually grown to really like her, and you can tell that TLC has too, especially giving them their baby special.
Oh God,
Happily Ever After. No, and watching it, it makes you feel even more bad watching the baby special, because you're watching it and you're like, she's 5 months pregnant. She's doing everything on her own. She's a very strong woman. Sometimes she nags a lot, but she's doing things on her own. She moved in with the parents, which that's not the most ideal situation.
But the parents have been really lovely to her.
Yeah, well, surprising. I think that once they got married and they see that there's a grandchild on the way, now they, in their heart of hearts, feel like she's not going anywhere. So they're starting to open up a little bit more, as opposed to thinking that she's some Ukrainian, like, mail order bride or something.
Yeah, I agree with that. But to me, that was the sweetest part. I felt bamboozled last week, because I was not expecting that whole baby birth situation at the last hour of the show. And I was like, wait, we're having a baby special? Okay, I'll catch up.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Okay. I still don't find them that interesting. I'm not excited to see them on Happily Ever After. I still feel like with Jovi, even in this tell-all, he's just like, he'll say whatever it is just to get him out of the doghouse.
Well, are you excited to see Brandon and Julia on Happily Ever After?
No, neither one. But I'll watch it, because I'm excited for Angela. I'm excited for, oh my God, I can't think of their names.
There's the one girl who I never know who she is. And then there's Angela and Michael, and there's Brandon and Julia. There's Yara and Jovi. Isn't there one more couple from this season who's actually on it too?
I know I heard rumors about Mike and Natalie, but I didn't see them in the previews, so I don't think it's them.
Yeah, I mean,
I know there's other couples from other previous seasons that are coming back.
Okay.
But I'm not excited about these two couples from this new season. If they were boring in this season, they'll continue to be boring in this next season.
Okay. Well, there was a little bit of a debate on this episode, and it came down to Rebecca talking about her liposuction and getting, her tummy a little bit smaller and doing the things that she wanted to do to her face. And then it struck a big conversation about plastic surgery, invasive and non-invasive, obviously. But when it comes to actually, does that even make sense? Can you have non-invasive plastic surgery?
Yeah, apparently, because the liposuction, she said it was non-invasive, and I was like, oh. And then I was talking with someone last night on live where they were saying that they were going in for something that was non-invasive liposuction. I was like, I didn't know. I might have to look into it.
Don't do it, Kempire. Don't do it. But when it comes to plastic surgery, the topic is, whether or not you should change your body if it feels right to you. Obviously, we can all agree if someone else is asking you to change your nose, or somebody that you're with doesn't like your face, well, piss off, right? Then don't be with that person. But if it's you, like Yara said, looking in the mirror and you're not totally happy and you want to change something about yourself, I'm curious what your stance is on it. Are you more sided with Yara, Natalie, and Rebecca, or do you think that Julia's right? Like, why alter yourself? This is the body that you were born in. This is how you look. Unless it's like maybe you feel like you're in the wrong body, or you're trying to go through a transition or something like that. If it's just a nose job or liposuction, why do it?
I think it really depends on your age, because if you're like 18, I'm not an advocate for someone that young to make that sort of decision. Definitely, I'm okay with you making it's your body at the end of the day. But I think when you're that young, sometimes you get over how you feel about your body within your 20s. I just think it's such a transformational time in your life. So I think it's good to wait. But if you're still having that issue and you have the money to pay for it, go ahead.
They tried to get me in Los Angeles with this shit, just to be fair. They used to say to me all the time, especially when I was working at SUR, and there's some of the waitresses who are like models, or there was one who was on the Haves and the Have-Nots for Tyler Perry's show, and she would fly back and forth. She would go film, and then they would just let her come back and waitress like she never left. And I remember her talking to me, and she was like, babe, are you you're gonna get those done, right? And I was like, what? And she's like, your forehead, like when you smile, you have these like lines. And I was like, yeah, I'm a dude. Like I just thought that I was supposed to have the line. I didn't know, and she's like, no. She's like, listen, babe, how old are you? I was like, I'm 20 years old. She's like, okay. Well, normally I say by the time you're 25, you should definitely start getting Botox because it's preventative. But maybe for you, you should start by the time you're 23 if you want a future in this business. And I was like, I don't know if you just gave me some shady ass LA comment or what you just gave me.
That's so LA.
23 to 25?
Well, I mean, if you speak to dermatologists, they do recommend Botox very young. The more that they're understanding the skin and things like that, they're saying that. And I'm an advocate for all of that because look, I am ready. I have done it before. I need to start doing it again.
You don't look like you have a line on your face.
Well, right now, look, good lighting.
Okay. That makes sense.
But I have a very expressive face, and that can get really expensive, especially when it comes to Botox. Because if you're very expressive, you're going to have to go for me, like every 2 months, I would have to do it. And that's expensive.
No, see, I'm just praying to God that he lets me age like George Clooney, and then I'm just not going to get anything done. That's how I hope it goes. But
if you take care of your skin, you really won't have to. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong if you feel okay with it. But there's nothing wrong with getting Botox. There's nothing wrong with, well, first of all, everyone should be taking care of their skin no matter what. Sunscreen, cleanser. We were watching, I commented on Jason's channel when he did his product coverage.
What's actually annoying about his products, like they're like stacked up in the bathroom, and then I'll start getting ready and I just like slap moisturizer on my face and I'm like,
start now.
Well,
take care of your skin
now. But his regimen is so it's so long. It's like, first you start with your moisturizer, and then you start with your eye repair, and then you have to use your hair serum in order to not have the frizzy stuff. And then you need to contour around the side of the face with this moisturizer. I'm like, geez,
start slow.
Do this.
Start slow. You don't have to do all that yet, but once you get into routine, then you can start adding. But basic cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. That's what you should be doing at the very bare minimum. I wish I knew that when I was like 20. That way, who knows what my skin would look like now.
Yeah, see, I use no SPF. I wash my face with a bar of soap, and then I slap on moisturizer, which is
please stop doing that. ASAP. Today, that ends today.
Okay. Well, let's get back into the 90-Day Fiance speak. Someone just said Kendallin Owen Williams. Rebecca doesn't look any different. Her outfit was hideous. Okay, well, her outfit might not have been the. I actually didn't even mind the outfit, just to be fair. So I don't want to just like jump on the train. But what I do want to say is I thought with her hair, she didn't have that red hair. She did look a lot more put together. And I did think that she looked like she shaved a good 5 to 7 years off of herself.
She looked good. I mean, yeah. I thought she looked good. I think she was annoying throughout the episode because she kept on piping in on everyone's situation. But that was her the entire season. Regardless, she was trying to make a story of her situation when there really wasn't much of a story.
But I think that's just her being like a seasoned vet. Do you remember the episode where, Angela was about to reach down and snatch her up by the head? Like,
yeah,
she has spoken out before, but I think that she's looking at the rest of the women on this panel, like at this tell-all, and she's like, girl, you're 20, you're 20 something, you're 20 something. Oh, I got this. Like, she just feels like,
mind you, she has the messiest situation.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
ZIED, it's oh God, there's one person who can chime in on ZIED because she loves Rebecca and ZIED so much. Should I bring her up?
Miriam?
Not Miriam.
Oh, wait.
Hi, Miriam.
I was about to say, I was like, not Miriam.
Yeah, hi.
All right, Miriam, I want to talk about Rebecca and ZIED for a second because there were a few moments in their storyline that played out on this first part of the tell-all. 2 things I want to talk about. Well, and then you can chime in on the plastic surgery too. But the first 2 things I want to talk about is a little bit of the miscommunication of him just saying, oh, yes, I like her to look younger because for then she's so sexy. And then the second one was the girl who was trying to offer her truck. The girl did have a little smirk at the end. And I kind of see, just to be fair, I see where Rebecca was coming from, even though I find it to be incredibly insecure. But take it wherever you want it. I want you to start, Miriam.
Okay. Rebecca was completely all up when she was basically screaming at whose mom? I would never chime in my child. Michael's mom.
Oh.
Whose mom?
Right?
Michael's mom.
Completely out of.
Oh yeah.
When she chimed in, when Michael's mom, she she was talking. Then she goes, I would never do that with my kids. Like, really? She had an Angela moment there. It's like Angela was taking over her body.
Well,
I'm like, we all agree with Michael's mom. She sees from outside that relationship won't work. So we can't falter her from trying to save her son, because it seems like she's the only one thinking in that family that he's going to be like 10 years responsible for her. But which led me to another, I don't know, did you guys, I'm not digressing here, I'm just another layer. Did you guys watch Andy's reality TV show on E?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Last episode, he was interviewing the producer of 90 Day Fiancé. So now, and he said how they hire, how they recruit those people. He said from the beginning, they started like they were pitching this show, but under a different name. I can't quite remember. But then all of a sudden, like when he got to the right person that was listening to him, they sent out emails to immigration lawyers across the country saying, listen, we have this show coming like that we are working on. Maybe you can find us, like if you have people applying for this type of visa and they agree to participate in the show, let us know. Which makes me believe that maybe there is a clause or something or an agreement with the network that, hey, I know you want to dump her. You don't want to get married to her because you're worried about the financials. We will help you with that, or we will cover. Because what they're getting, let's face it, Lady Gaga watches 90 Day Fiancé. Like on the E series, they showed an excerpt that when Lady Gaga went to Ellen's show, and she said, like Ellen was asking her, the heat questions, and you press the button. She asked Lady Gaga, which reality TV show you can't live without? And Lady Gaga pressed the button and said, 90 Day Fiancé. So that show is really there.
Yeah, but don't you feel like maybe they started like that?
Far-fetched, the idea that.
Don't you think maybe they started like that? I don't mean to cut you off, but started like that and then became a little bit more pre-produced as they figured out what they were doing?
And this is part of pre-producing. So they made, because he dumped her on the wedding day, and then he changed his mind. Maybe the producer said, oh, if you're worried about the money, don't worry, we got you covered. Because then they got the continuation of this story, which is a train wreck that we hate, but we can't look away from.
I don't know about necessarily if I can't look away from it. I could definitely look away. I could look away from it. I want to say this really quick. Alabama Camper, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate your support. But I do have to bring this up really quick, only because you just said we can't look away from them.
Yeah. This is my thing. Like I
can look away from them.
Oof.
Yeah, but I'm amazed that they're still in the show together. Like even Robin, she was like surprised by them being still together. I feel like that's very telling. They were able to salvage one story that would be like, because from what we know outside the show, they're not together, but then they are together. Which one is true?
Money must be the motivation, though, for them, I think.
I mean, I
getting paid
when they were rating their relationship, and one was like, well, I think we're at a 6. The other one's like, I think we're at a 7. I'm like, that just makes me feel like I'm at a 10. And, like everybody has their own problems. But if you're at a 6 and a 7, you guys look like you hate each other.
Right? I was like 6 and 7. You guys are being generous.
Their faces are deadpan. Like they look like there is no emotion there. And just to be fair, I want to speak on Natalie's behalf here. I can't be easy. You have Julia, who comes into Brandon and his family's farm. But even when it came down to the wedding, the family had core values about what a wedding is. And the mom really wanted to take her out and get her a dress and have that bonding moment with her. And she's a little bit weird about how close she wants all of them to be, but she has that. Whereas like Mike and Natalie, really the only person Natalie has is Tamra, the neighbor, which is kind of like that's all you. It's not even family. And then she comes to find out that Mullet Mom.
Not Mullet Mom.
Yes, I come from the country. We can say that. My cousin has a mullet. Mullet Mom. She has a mullet, like a party in the front. Is it party in the front? Business in the front, party in the back. See, I'm the worst country person ever.
Oh God, I don't want to go to that party.
Yeah. But, it's like business in the front, party in the back. You have Mike's mom, and I'm not saying anything bad about her. Mullets, that's like saying just because you have a mullet means that it's an ugly haircut. That is not what I'm saying. It's like if I have a bowl cut, it's a bowl cut. If you have a mullet, it's a mullet. You have a buzzed head, it's a buzzed head. That's it. Anyways, getting back to it, she has no support from anyone in the family except drunk Uncle Bo, which that doesn't really count because he comes off a little... I wouldn't want to be
Uncle Bo's the best part of this season. Come on.
I know, but I get what she was saying when she's like, listen, I don't want to be left in the house with Uncle Bo. Uncle Bo has a few beers. You don't know where Uncle Bo's mind's going. Like, she might look like Angelina Jolie after 4 beers. You don't know what Uncle Bo is thinking. And then, I don't know. I just found it to be...
like the MVPs of the tell-all were the parents. Like Jovi's mom, oh my God, love her.
Yes.
Michael's mom, she is the sane one. She is the one that sees that relationship is sub-zero graded, not 5 or 7, let alone, and even like what the farmers like I started liking them. They're weird, but you know what? They were so invested in their wedding. They made sure that they had something done special. It's like I forgave them. I really did.
I'm sure they appreciate that, Miriam.
But what do you guys think about when Mullet Mom asked Tamara to step up and interrupt? Yeah, I did call her Mullet Mom. That's her new name. That's her new name. You started it.
That is shady as hell, Kempire. Don't give the credit to me. You can copyright the hell out of that. I don't want any part.
That's where we're going forward. But what did you guys think about that part where she asked Tamara to step up and interfere with the wedding, and Tamara was like, no.
This is when I found like, wow, Rebecca, you better shut up. First of all, you have no authority. The reason that you have kids doesn't mean that you're sane, because look at your relationship. Hello, you cannot. I'm in this. You cannot yell at Michael's mom. How dare you?
Her 4th marriage, Rebecca.
Well, and just to be fair too, also, I think that this is a mom. Didn't she say Mike is an only child, right?
I think
This is I believe she said that. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me in the chat, but I believe she said Mike is her only son. And she might have a daughter somewhere. I don't know. I hope it's not also with a little mullet, because that would be cute. Baby mullet mom. No. But she has Mike, and she's sitting there, trying to just have his best interest. And I get where she's coming from, because like Miriam said, this is a train wreck of a relationship. You have 2 people who are sitting right next to each other, and they clearly have their differences, where it seems like, they more don't like each other than they do. And I think any parent, if that was my relationship, maybe if it was Kempire's relationship, Miriam, if it was your relationship, I think most parents would try to chime in on it, except this isn't chiming in a personal way. This is something that they have on national television because Mike and Natalie decided to go on national television. So if they decided to go there and then they invite her to the tell-all, what else is she supposed to do? Lie about it? She was just trying to say, like, listen, I'm listening to my son say he doesn't want to be in this marriage. Tamara,
days before,
do something about this, because he's about to make a mistake and then link himself into this situation for the next 10 years. And if he's feeling this way now, then he needs to nip this in the butt before it gets like to be a commitment. And I can see where she's coming from.
And then their relationship makes Rebecca and ZIED's relationship look good. So is this why she's encouraging their relationship, Rebecca? I don't feel like Rebecca is genuine. She has anybody's best interest in mind other than hers. Obviously, she's making money, and she is engaged in a relationship that we all know doesn't have longevity. If they're going to stay married, it's because he will have a child with someone else. He will have a child with someone else. ZIED will have a child.
this relationship isn't going to work?
I wasn't ready.
This isn't going to work? They look happy. Look, he's happy. She's happy. They're happy.
Oh, God.
No?
You killed me. Yeah. So there you go. You just proved my point. So Michael and Natalie's relationship make their relationship look good, and you know what the relationship is. So she has no moral authority, no credential to yell at Michael's mom. I just wanted to tell her, you know what, Michael, shame on Michael. He should have told her, please don't speak like that with my mother.
But Mike doesn't have a backbone. He really had a backbone with Natalie.
Gina Dodson just made a point. I wouldn't like Natalie either if I heard her call my son a loser and a drunk. And I think, just to be fair, if it were my mom and she heard, Jason tell me, you drunk, you loser, then yeah, my mom probably wouldn't like you. So I think it's just we have to kind of, I don't know. I guess we have to kind of see it from all sides, and the fact that it's playing out on national television. But since you're talking about Rebecca and ZIED, I kind of missed this. I glazed over it a little bit because I had it was like crazy storming here last night, and I had to shut the little hurricane shutters and like get my stuff together. And I missed this one part where they were talking about Rebecca and ZIED fighting the night before their wedding. She said that she got naked in the hot tub and she was trying to like caress them in, like, come in. Like, get some of this, But he called the place. What did he say? What happened? He was
like a horror movie. He had watched a horror movie, and he said it was a scary place. He's like it's like the set of like a scary movie.
Oh, so that hurt her feelings because she found it and she's been working her ass off, and he hasn't been doing anything. So that hurt her feelings. Okay.
Everything hurts her feelings.
She's very emotional, that one.
She is delusional, or she is gaslighting all of us. I think she's gaslighting us.
She's gaslighting us?
She's gaslighting everybody. She's gaslighting because he cannot work. He doesn't have a work permit before they got married. So she engages in working and get money on the table. She makes his stay compromised. Really, like people, like before you get your stuff together, your paper, and you become legal alien here, and you're still in a conditional status, everything you do is under a microscope. So she's complaining, this is what was gonna happen. You miss Friday night, like, what am I gonna call her? She pretends she knows everything, and she has experience. We know he's not the first guy that she tries to, from that area, from that region, with the same values. So now she's like, oh, poor me, I am working. Yeah, that's what you wanted, honey, from the get-go. You went to the desert for that.
Okay, fair. I want to shift this a little bit, and I want to talk about another couple who we didn't really get to see much from, except the fact that one seems like they're traumatized, and the other one is kind of like this like angry little culty troll running off the set. When it comes to Andrew and Amira, I want to know what your opinions are, because knowing that you signed up for a show, and pretty much if you signed up for the show, you should watch the show before you sign up for it. And that's why, like, I do a lot of Bravo, and I hate when housewives are like, I've never watched the show. Girl, yeah, you did. You know exactly what you signed up for. And if you didn't, then you're silly, because all of your skeletons are going to come out. But for Andrew and Amira was making requests of saying, I don't want to be on screen with him in the same room because I'm taking control. I want to be able to control what I say, and I'm not giving him any more satisfaction. So production thought that, okay, why not? So we'll ask Andrew to leave the set. And he's like, no, just don't show me. But they know damn well if they just don't show him, the minute that she's saying something that's not in favor to Andrew, he's going to speak up, and then she's going to know, and she can just pull that plug and cut right out. So I want to know, is Amira in the wrong because she knows what show she signed up for, and all of the couples, whether they're together or not, 9 times out of 10, they do come on the show together, whether it's virtual one and one in person? Or do you think it's completely fair, considering everything that she's went through, that she had this one request?
I think she just proved Campire's theory that she is abused, and for you to you really, even like the virtual presence affect. So she needed that sense of security. You
So you
don't
think
want
she's
to
an
be.
abused
I
woman?
know people might say, "Oh, he's even in a different country," but just knowing that there is a chance that he might chime in or talk back to her, that might be triggering. And this is why I feel she's like either 9 or 99. No, I cannot be in the same scene or anything connected with him. I feel like yesterday she just proved her theory that it was like abusive and she was under his spell, you know. And when people are like that, they do crazy things. She went to crazy countries, and it seems like he was acquiring his money. It's all about the money. He was able to book her flights, this and that, without caring, and which led her to go to Mexico, then Serbia. Then that is crazy, man.
And she looks like a beautiful, like little French princess, like on the tell-all. And then
What
you
was
see,
she wearing?
I thought she looked great. I honestly, I find Amira to be. I see sometimes where people like go in on her. I find her to be I think she's very stunning, especially when you match her up with Andrew. Andrew, I don't like Andrew from the inside, outside, outside, inside. Not like I know either one of those, but I just like from what he's portrayed. Like,
what the hell? He looks like a pedophile.
It's you can't just say that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you can't. You can say he looks like Colty. A lot of people know what Colty looks like. They can give you a lot of adjectives for him, I guess. Or
yeah.
I have to say though, as a producer, I was disappointed that they weren't going to have an interaction for the show, and I know fans wanted to have the interaction. But as someone that's been saying throughout the entire season, I feel like she's dropping breadcrumbs to us that there is an abusive situation, either mental, physical, allegedly. I don't know what it is, but I feel like she's been telling us in not so many words. And that was really the cherry on top, that she couldn't even be in his presence, even virtually. And also everything that's been going on social media, I'm sure that's been, devastating to her as well.
And he's taunting on social media too, just to be fair. He does taunt the hell out of her. Virginia Lewis said the producer is wrong to kick Andrew out. Well, that's how Andrew felt. And I've seen some comments where a lot of people were like, well, that's not fair. Everyone else has to have the tough conversations. Like Mike and Natalie are sitting there with the hairdresser who's about to come on and reveal whether or not they ended up hooking up. And everyone has to sit through these situations that are tough. But just because they're not together doesn't mean, like Miriam said, that there's not some form of abuse. Abuse is not just physical, putting your hands on someone. You can mentally abuse somebody. You can emotionally abuse somebody.
Abuse is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of catfish? Hello. Like, it's easier to abuse someone virtually because the abuser is released from the physical presence. So just at the tip of his fingers, he can send a text, like after mistreating her, he treats her well again. This is why I feel like we're not seeing the whole picture between Mark Daly and Kenya.
Oh,
that is so like abusive relationship. I know, but this is the thing. I feel like.
Hey, do you have the mirror right now?
I wish I had the mirror. I need to order. But anyhow, I feel like production, even like the way they do the tell-all, is so bad. She doesn't have a good segue because each relationship has a different problem. So there is no connective tissue there. I wish they could do a tell-all with each couple alone. We don't need a couple to chime in another's couple because
I don't know about
kind
that,
of enjoy that.
I love that.
I was about to say my favorite part is like when somebody like Julia is like, why you do this? Why you not go to gym club? And Yara's like, shut up. It's none of your business. I'm like, yeah.
We can have them have a watch party, which would be something similar to Pillow Talk. But this is the thing. We never get to the bottom of anything. Like Compare said, we got breadcrumbs because of those chopped conversations. We need to go in depth.
We don't know necessarily, though, I don't think we know, unless Kempire or Miriam, you might know more than I do because I've been kind of checked out for the last week. But Andrew and Amira, I do see where they kind of zone in on him getting in the car saying, if she is not willing to have me on the same set, then I won't talk to her. But it was like he was still leaving, but there was a chance he could come right back. I mean, do you think that they'll end up coming back or no?
He'll come back.
He's coming back to the set. there's no back relationship, I hope.
Yeah, no, there's no back relationship, but you think he will come back on stage, and do you think she will agree to be on stage with him?
No, because they even show a preview of her saying that she's going to have a panic attack. And I think it's partially why the producers are being so sensitive when this issue is coming up, because they also sense maybe some abuse and they don't want to be liable for putting her in a situation that can be very problematic for them legally.
100% agree.
Okay. I want to talk about one other couple really quick. We could talk about Tariq and Hazel, but they really didn't have anything to necessarily offer to this tell-all, only because they didn't really hyper focus on them at all. Tariq is always kind of down for the women, like in the sense that, like, when they're talking about when Yara was like, I had a potato nose, he's like, girl, you're beautiful, you know. And like I like the fact that he's uplifting everyone except his own wife. But I want to talk about Stephanie and Ryan. What?
You said it.
I mean, it's kind of the truth.
Grass.
She kind of looks a little bit like Hazel has sort of that aura about her where she kind of seems very shy and distant and everything like that. But watching Hazel with Tariq and they're in separate rooms, she just looks like she's pissed. She's sad. Things are not going in their favor. So we'll find out more about that on the second part of the tell-all. But I wanted to ask if either one of you guys missed Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes being Stephanie and Ryan. Did you miss? Because I thought they would have been great for the tell-all, but I think what happened was Stephanie opened her mouth too much about TLC, so they cut her out of it.
She deserves a spinoff.
Stephanie?
I don't know about a spinoff.
So let's face it. Listen, it's like we know what she's out for. She's being at least truthful about that. She's crazy. She is good TV, okay? Compared to the others, like I feel like the only real relationships we had on that tell-all yesterday were the millennials.
Wouldn't it?
The millennials.
Yeah. The baby boomers are out.
Even with their problems, they really are. It's a relationship. You know what I mean? And they're funny. Like Yara and Julia, they are funny. I love them.
Funny together, not funny apart when their relationships.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I think how funny would it be though if they gave Stephanie? Well, she's already opened her mouth, so she's literally Devin her own ass, like she is. But when it comes to the network, but how funny would it have been if they took Stephanie and just gave her like favorite bottles of wine, and they sent her on a travel dating show where they took her to Belize and they took her maybe to like Ukraine, or they took her to like Colombia, South America, Brazil, and they just kind of, for each stop, she had like maybe 3 different speed dates. And then at the end of this dating competition show, she would pick somebody who she liked. Why am I not pitching to TLC?
I don't know why. That's an amazing idea, because the minute you started describing, I was like, I might like that.
Yes, because Stephanie too, she's so kind of in her own head, and there's the problem with everyone else, but not with Stephanie, even though Stephanie is just kind of like, she's like, first of all, when she started, and somebody gave me a lot of crap about this. Someone was commenting and telling me that I was bullying Stephanie. I was not bullying Stephanie, because I was talking about her condition that she talked about, her medical condition. After a certain time of day, her eyes start getting like a little drowsy, and she was saying that's a medical condition. All I pointed out was the fact that every time we see her, she has like a nice big healthy glass of wine. And after a while, if I have a few healthy glasses of wine, my eyes have a medical condition too. So that's all I was pointing out. I'm not talking bad about her. I'm just saying I would think that it was more so the wine. And she goes, really, Harris? So you think you love me? And it's like,
all the signs point to something else.
And I feel like her relationship with TLC is salvageable if she gets a smart lawyer, say, listen, she was drunk when she said that. They can salvage like her relationship with TLC. Well,
she would have to come on and she would have to make like a real public apology, saying that she would have to literally bury herself and say, I was drunk. She couldn't just say it through a lawyer. She would have to say it to the public and make a statement. And then TLC would blast that all over their site and be like, Stephanie speaks out saying that she was intoxicated when she went against production. It would be something like that, or else they will never let her back.
Another good show would be 90 Day Mom's Edition or Parents Edition.
No, they should just give the moms a couch while watching.
Yeah.
The moms should get a couch.
Yes.
I really would have loved to see Stephanie as part of the tell-all, because that would have been interesting to see everyone's opinions on their relationships. But they did say that Stephanie and Ryan weren't going to be there. They didn't say anything about Harris.
That's true.
And we saw last week Harris and Emma lovey-dovey on the show. They actually kiss at the end. I was like, oh, I want to see what happens with that.
Harris will meet someone else in America, and he will be, because Harris is great. Harris, his relationship with his current, which is more current than an ex, I think if they will do something, we can't just be done with both of them. One of them has to stay.
Well, I guess with that, I want to end this off in a positive way. Guys, if you haven't already, if you haven't already, where's my head? If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Just to give everybody a heads up before we go too, I'm going to drop another Jen Shah video today. And also we're going live with Tasha K to break down the Latoya Ali and Adam Ali divorce drama. She did an interview with Adam, and I asked her last night, I texted her and said, would you come on with me? And she said yes. She said she's free at 3, but with Tasha, I'll take what I can get. And she's always such a great time. I love having her on. So guys, if you're around at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, go ahead and join us. Otherwise, I want to just ask both of you, and I'll start with Miriam because ladies first. What are you looking forward to seeing most from the second part of the tell-all?
I want to see more of the parents, because I feel like parents, they play the big role in making things happen in a timely manner. Jovi, his mom, she's really a good woman. Oh my God. Like she cried, like she feels with Yara, and she knows, like she loves her son, but she sees the flaws of her son. I'm hoping they have more of the parents and the in-laws of Julia as well. I really hope they get to speak more, because they really, like, they are part of the relationship. And I hope they give like another chance for Mike's mom to come on, and which mother wouldn't advise her son or try to save her son? Because as of now, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't want to hear about Tarek and Hazel, because I feel like it's there's nothing there. It's I love vanilla ice cream, but I don't like vanilla relationships on any day.
Oh,
they are so
whoa.
They're so
Okay.
Come on, Miriam.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
But I just want, like, and by the way, let's give a shout out to Jovi. He looks great. He lost a lot of weight. He looked good yesterday.
I mean, he looked good. I honestly thought everybody except Andrew looked good.
Well, yeah.
Andrew needs to fire his stylist, which I think it's his
Andrew working with his kindergarten, preschool kids out of his mom's house does not have a stylist. Just to say that.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot. All he needed was a plain white shirt with a decent tie. Everything else he would at least look decent.
There would have been a barbecue stain on his white T-shirt. He would have looked like Andrew still. At the end of the day, Andrew looks like Andrew. And I'm not dissing his looks at all. I'm not talking about his look. I'm talking about the overall picture of Andrew and his. There's just something that is off there, in my opinion. I think a lot of TLC fans' opinions. There's just something that is very like eerie about that whole situation. So it makes you can't
He should thank Amira for not wanting to be side to side with him. How ugly it would be, the beauty.
Did you just call them the Beauty and the Beast?
I mean,
okay.
There are no lies there.
Okay. Dear Dana, well wishes for Pop's recovery. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dana. We miss you. I want to ask you now, Kempire, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to Harris popping up on the show, honestly. Okay. I know Stephanie definitely won't be there because we already confirmed that. I don't really want to examine this whole Mike and Natalie situation again. I agree with Miriam in regards to not being interested in what's happening with Tarek and Hazel. But Minty will be there, so maybe it'll be somewhat interesting. I know we have to cover it, so we will cover it. But other than that, I mean, the season wasn't the greatest. I'm looking forward to Happily Ever After, but the tell-all is interesting enough to keep me interested for one more episode. There better not be a part 3.
Okay. Okay. All right. And I think for me, I probably am looking forward to the most seeing what happens with Andrew and Amira. Yeah, I think that would probably be the thing that I'm looking forward to most. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And
do you think he'll come back? I can't remember if you said if you thought he would come back.
Who?
Andrew?
I hope not. But then again, they keep bringing Colt's ass back, so I don't know.
Oh
I don't know what they're good. But Colt has his mom also to play, so they play off of each other in this weird, like they should have been on Smothered, but they weren't. And they have this kind of interesting relationship where like I just don't even know.
Can I say something about Colchi?
Oh God, here we go.
PSD. I have a friend of mine invited me to be part of this Facebook group that talks only 90 Day Fiancé. And someone posted pictures of Colchi in his OnlyFans. What he does in his OnlyFans that I cannot unsee. I need therapy.
I hate that. I don't want that.
They were
I don't
not,
want that at all.
but they were very insinuating.
That's gross.
Yeah.
I don't want to insinuate anything about Colty.
Oh my God.
But Colty is still, in comparison to Andrew, Colty doesn't give me abuser vibes.
Yes.
No, he's just creepy, not abusive.
Yeah.
He's creepy and like sad, not abusive.
It's funny. Like he's comical. It's like a different type of comic. But
yeah, but it's in the wrong way. It's like Big Ed is comical, but then he's not a comedian, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like it's that. But
you're laughing at them instead of, with them.
With them, which makes you feel like an ass. So at what point, anyways. I want to bring up one comment really quick here, just because I have to stick up for the people who come on my channel. Lover of Life said, Adam, I expect better than Tasha K. She had zero integrity. Lover of Life, I don't know what level of integrity that Tasha has. However, she has built a whole business out of what she does. And every time that she gets on with me, she is nothing but lovely. So I can't judge her based off of anything else. I think that she is absolutely fantastic when she comes on my channel, and she's nothing but respectful and a sweetheart.
Class act.
And shout out to you, Adam, for getting that exclusive with her, because she's the only other person that has interviewed Adam in regards to, Adam Ali, in regards to this whole LaToya situation. So to me, it makes perfect sense to have her on. Next, get them both, Adam Ali and LaToya, on.
You are class act, Adam.
Hey, I'll keep you guys around. And somebody said clammy hands. I don't know who that Tara. I don't know who she's talking about. I live. Okay.
That could be either Andrew or Colty.
Andrew and Colty are the same breed of man. With that, guys, go ahead, smash that like button. I'm going to take my shady mirror, figure out what's in store for the rest of my day. And we'll be back at 3 o'clock. And I still have to record my Gin Shop video, so I'm going to be putting that up. She's actually, it's been confirmed, she is looking at serious time. I know that it was alluded to that she might be facing anywhere between 30 and 50 years, but another expert who, I don't even want to say it until I read it again. I think they specialize in white collar crimes, gave us a range of a sentence. So I'm going to go ahead and drop a video about that here in a little bit. And if you guys are around, join us at 3 p.m. ET with Tasha K. And as far as Miriam and Kempire go, Kempire, can you tell us where you can find us? Or we can find you?
I just want to promote a friend of your show, Fem Tarot. Her and I did a quick video on Jen Shaw and predicting her future. People should go watch it, because some of the things that the cards were saying about Jen, I think are going to happen. People will be referencing that video the next couple of years, because
that was good.
I love that. I love that. I was going to say, tell me what it said, but I don't want you to spoil it for anyone else who's watching, so they can go watch it too. Guys, go check out Kempire's channel and watch his video with Femtaro.
Well, no, it's on her channel. It's on her channel.
It's on Femtaro's channel?
Yes.
So go check out Femtaro's channel. Watch her video with Kempire. She's amazing. And honestly, when she pulls the cards, she actually reached out to me after finding out about Pops' stroke. He had 1 stroke, then it was 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. God. And it was an emotional roller coaster of a week. But she asked me if you would like me to pull some cards to tell you what's going to happen. And I just couldn't. She's been so spot on. So I refused to think anything but positive. So she was sending positive vibes. I just couldn't read cards when it came to anything like that because you'll be missing me for a while when that happens. So that is not a conversation I want to have. But what I do want to point out is Fem Tarot is always completely spot on. Go check her out. And Miriam, can you let us know where we can find you?
Yes, I am at not underscore paid not underscore by underscore Monique. Soon I might be changing my name.
Okay.
Not by the prophet.
No. No, you're so shady, Miriam. You're so shady.
Oh God.
Okay. Kempire, can you let us know where we're going to find you?
Oh, yes. Everyone can find me. If you're looking for me on social media, it's at the Kempire, but my YouTube channel is Kempire Daily.
Kempire Daily. All right. So, guys, go follow both Miriam and Kempire. Thank you both so much for joining me. I couldn't have done this live today without you guys. So thank you. I'm serious. I sent out the bat signal for Kempire and he threw a shirt on and was like, okay, I'm jumping on with you. Thank you guys for that. This would not have been as fun at all without you guys. So I always appreciate everybody. Again, Muriel, if you're watching, thank you for sending the bouquet of flowers to Pops. You made his day. He actually started crying. So thank you guys for all the love and support. We appreciate you and we'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Guys, and don't forget to go follow Kempire and Miriam. They're amazing. What an awesome live. I love you guys, and we'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys. Bye.